Abdali School System, English Literature, Class 5, The Golden Touch, Wonderful Wings, Lecture number 2, Main Incident. Today we will discuss the main incident of the story, The Wonderful Wings. Main incident. There are 4 main incidents in the story, Wonderful Wings. Daedalus killed Perdiccas. Perdiccas was the nephew of the Daedalus. Daedalus and Icarus escaped from the Crete. Daedalus was in prison of King Minos and the death of Icarus. Now, our first incident is Daedalus killed Perdiccas. The main character in all 4 incidents are the Daedalus. He was the renowned artist. He made pro of contemporary ships, Pasiphae wooden cow, wings with wax, and the labyrinth. He was exiled from the Crete because he pushed off his nephew from cliff due to his jealousy. Perdiccas, the nephew of Daedalus, he was clever and eager boy. People praised Daedalus and Perdiccas, but they thought Perdiccas was more skillful as compared to his uncle. One evening, Daedalus and Perdiccas walked at the seashore. It was beautiful, quiet summer evening. The sun was going down in dark blue sea. Daedalus led Perdiccas to the top of a hill near the sea. The side of the hill nearest the sea went straight down into the water. The sea is beautiful blue, uncle, said Perdiccas. I want to make a curtains in exactly that color and hang them in the temple of Athens. Don't you think they will look wonderful? He talked and talked about his work and his plans for future. He didn't see the black anger in his uncle's eyes. Perdiccas discussed his plan with Daedalus. Daedalus stepped back a little. He gave the boy a hard push. Perdiccas found himself falling over the cliff edge. He tried to catch hold of some grass, but it tore away in his hands. With cry, he fell down towards the rocks at the bottom of the cliff. He didn't die, luckily. However, the goddess Minerva heard his cry. She knew Perdiccas well and loved him for his skill. She changed him into the small brown bird, and he opened his wings and flew away over the sea. Our second incident in the story, The Wonderful Wings, is how Daedalus and Icarus escaped from Crete and why. Escape from Crete. Daedalus knew that he was in trouble if anyone hears about this. He said to himself, they will kill me. I must run away at once. He put a few things in an old bag. Then he woke up his little son. Come on, Icarus, he said. We must leave at once. What's the matter? Asked Icarus. He was still sleepy. He rubbed his eyes and looked up into his father's face. We must leave Athens at once. If we don't, we shall be in a great danger. Put your clothes and follow me quietly. They went down to the harbor. There they climbed into a little fishing boat. Icarus watched his father pull up the sail. Daedalus was as good at sailing as he was at everything else. Where are we going, father? Asked Icarus. To Crete, son. King Minos will make us welcome. He is my friend and will give me work, but we must go quickly. Our third incident in the wonderful wing is Daedalus and Icarus become prison. Now we will see how they become the prison. Minos remembered Daedalus' work on the labyrinth. He was glad to see him. He gave Daedalus a place to work in and kept him very busy. Daedalus did some very good work for the king. But one day, Daedalus argued with the king. It was not an important matter. Minos wanted some small thing, and Daedalus said he must wait. Minos was angry because he was a king, and Daedalus was too proud to ask the king's pardon. Trouble often starts in small ways. I will teach you a lesson, Minos shouted. Guards, throw this man into the prison. I will see him when he has learned not to be so rude. They locked Daedalus and little Icarus in a room at the top of a tall building. There Daedalus and his son lived for several weeks. Every day Icarus watched the birds that flew past his window. I wish we could fly like birds, said Icarus. Father, then we could fly away, we would be free. Daedalus said nothing, but already he had an idea. As the days went by, that idea grew. He watched the birds and studied the way they flew. One night, Daedalus began to make some wings. He took birds' feathers of different sizes. He stuck them to some thin pieces of wood with wax. He used hundreds of feathers. Our fourth incident is the death of Icarus, the son of the Daedalus. Daedalus carefully fastened the small pair of wings to Icarus' back. Daedalus gave instruction to Icarus, don't fly too high or too low. If you fly too high, the furious heat of sun burn your wings. And if fly too low, the water may wet your wings. A guard was standing on the palace wall. He saw them and pointed up at them. To Daedalus and Icarus, he looked like a toy soldier. The sun rose higher in the sky. Icarus was becoming quite clever at flying. He practiced diving down toward the sea. It was very exciting, but he always remembered his father's advice. The sun's furious heat burns Icarus' face. Soon the wax around his feathers began to melt. One by one, the feathers dropped from the wings. Feathers fell like the snow towards the sea. Icarus had nothing to hold him up. He began to fall. In his fear, he cried out his father. Daedalus swam down until he found Icarus. He fought his way up again with Icarus in his arms. There was an island in the distance. Daedalus held Icarus and swam on his back towards the shore. He prayed all the time. He made many promises to the god. Just like Icarus' life, he begged, I will never ask you for anything else. But with a heavy heart, Daedalus dug a hole in the ground and placed the body of Icarus in it. He got down on his knees there and prayed. As he prayed, he heard a bird calling above his head. He looked up and saw a small brown bird, and he was the birdex. For a long time after that, the island was called the Icarus. The sea where the boy drowned was called the Icarian Sea.